last video from me today, I promise, but this is an important book for you, so please stay tuned. Make sure you're reposting it, sharing it, and tapping it. The Not Chosen by A.C. Salter. I finished this book. This was my very first book subscription box that I launched, and book club for this month. Finished it last night. I will go into the review, but I just need to go through a few things and why you need to read this series prior to reading this. So, the Bane of the North series, which is, there's 5 books, starts with, I'll go through all the books individually. Gallows Born. You then go to Rise of the Draug. You then move on to the Crooked Shard. You then go to Stormcleaver. How awesome is that? Look at that. And then Thorns and Ivy. Incredible. Now, the reason why I say you need to read this series prior to reading The Not Chosen is because this is a continuation from a character that you're introduced to at the end of this book. And it's obviously years down the line. And you're getting nostalgia because you're getting references to some characters here that you fall in love with during this story. So that is why I suggest reading this series prior to moving on to The Not Chosen. They're all available on Kindle Unlimited, all Adrian's work is, which is so amazing. So it's really accessible. The hardbacks just, they're absolutely beautiful. But time to review The Not Chosen. So this is not me being biased, just because myself, I am a character in this book. I'm called Ashen. I am a realm wanderer, and Gigi is a character in this book. Igig, she is part dog, part dragon, like a Snufflegraph. I was in love with this book prior to the introduction of those characters, and I was just floored. There's nothing like reading a character that's, you know, someone's wrote about you, and the mannerisms and the sayings. I was like, what? It's like Adrian's like studied my TikTok. I was like, wow, it was phenomenal. And the world, like the setting that he had me in, I was on the bus getting emotional. It was incredible. But prior to that, like I said, it's a continuation from a character you meet at the end of Thorns and Ivy, but years down the line. And I must say, Ada is one remarkable character. I fell in love with Bane straight away in the Bane of the North series, and I fell in love with Belle. I had an instant impact with this character. Instant impact. There is so much intrigue there because there's been a gap, and I loved... especially in Thorns and Ivy, I love the character in there, and I really want to know what has happened in this middle portion in between these books. Oh, I am dying to know, because you get like little tidbits here and there throughout this book. The intrigue is unreal. You're introduced to new characters that you're going to fall in love with. There is some treachery, there is some sneakiness, there is mermaids. Honestly, this has everything. I was floored. Absolutely floored. And the last like 30 pages I was holding my breath. I was like, what is happening? Absolutely amazing. You've absolutely knocked us out of the park, Adrian. I know you were nervous, but it's really hard when you fall in love with a world someone's created and then they create a new series, because you're like, oh, is it going to live up? I fell hell over heels with this. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to read book 2, which I believe will be out on Halloween. Keep up the amazing work. Adrian, whatever you do, it's just phenomenal. I love this. If someone would have told me before joining Book Talk I'd be reading like epic fantasy with Vikings and things, I'd be like, yeah, that's definitely not something I would be reading. But Adrian has this way of writing where it's not like an info dump of words. You actually move, you feel like someone's pushing you and moving you through the story. The world is being created, but you're falling in love with the characters. The plot is plotting. You're all getting it in one movement, whereas a lot of books, they focus heavy on the world building and it's quite slow to begin with, and then they do it in those, I know everyone's got their own writing techniques, but this, another 5-star knockout. Adrian, I absolutely adore you and Jane. You're incredible. I cannot wait to continue this. I can't wait to see what Iggy gets up to in future books. But yeah, go and make sure you're checking out Adrian's work. I tag him in this. Go and show some support, follow him, check out all of his books on Kindle Unlimited or Kindle or Amazon, wherever you're going to get these books. And yeah, show Adrian some big support because he absolutely deserves it.